let's talk about President Obama's regulations, the EPA, war on coal. We've heard all the different terms. We've done a lot, I would say, in West Virginia. What do you think we can do to fight that war?
Legislatively, you know, there's a limit to what we can do at the state level, but let me assure you we've done more in this last legislative session than at any time in the history of the state. First thing we did was we repealed the state cap and trade laws, and you know, Obama and his EPA are doing everything in the world to shut down West Virginia, well, not just West Virginia coal, but fossil fuels in general, but it certainly hits us heavily in West Virginia. So we repealed the state law. We didn't need to double down. They're doing a fine job of it themselves. We also passed a law that said that the legislature would review the SIP, the State Implementation Plan, that the EPA demands of our West Virginia DEP, or of every state, that they put a plan in on our clean coal plan going forward. We said that the legislature is going to review that before the state submits that plan. And if the state submits a plan or suggests that we're going to submit a plan that is overreaching, that gives more than you know, the nth of what we got to give, we're just not going to let them release it. So we did that. We passed something called Coal Jobs and Safety Act last year, and what it did was update the rules and code for different things that they do underground, moving equipment and all. The laws that were on the books were written to cover old technology that went back to the 40s, 1940s, 50s, 60s, and so we updated that code to try and save those companies money and to try and make sure, though, that safety wasn't affected. I'm very proud to report that 2015 turned out to be the safest year on record for mine fatalities, and it wasn't just because we mined less coal. This was in a per ton kind of a look, so we adjusted it for the terrible shortfall in mining that we had, but very, very happy to say that we didn't. We had a great safety year.
And another war, primarily in your home county, the war on drugs. The drug epidemic certainly is affecting everyone. What do you think is the next thing we can do in this fight?
You know, as I've been out campaigning for governor for the last 6 months, I visited all 55 counties, and it's not a problem that's unique to Mercer County. It's not a problem that's unique to West Virginia. We're dealing with it all over the country. I think the first and foremost, we need to give people hope. We need to provide jobs and a future, particularly for our young people. If there's a carrot at the end of the stick, if there's a job waiting for a kid, there's a reason that maybe he'll stay in high school. If he drops out of high school, what's going to happen? It's teen pregnancy, it's drugs, it's down a wrong road. But if we have a good job waiting, then maybe we quit feeding half of the drug problem just simply by putting people to work with good jobs. Beyond that, we have to double down on our efforts with treatment centers, with beds, with recovery opportunity. There's a outfit in Huntington that has just opened here, different name, but Recovery Point, and they have an interesting, they connect the dots. They do one more thing than typical treatment programs do. Typical treatment program, you go through, you get sober or clean and your head's right, and they sort of cut you loose, put you back out in the world. What Recovery Point does is they connect the dots and they get somebody gainful employment. They get them a job. And, you know, so many of these people will have a felony conviction, and while it was nonviolent, it almost renders them unhireable. And yet, because the reputation that outfit has is so good, they've partnered with companies that typically wouldn't hire people that had felony convictions, and they're hiring them. So they connect the dots. They get them clean, dry, sober, and they put them to work. And I think, you know, that's one little piece of the puzzle that we've been missing. And, you know, I said I've been all around. There's a lot of great stories going on in West Virginia, and what I say is we need to identify what those solutions are and cut and paste. move that solution from Huntington to Mercer County, or whether it's a business that's doing well, or technology centers, or there's just so many good things, and we have to double down on those. We have a lot of bad stories going on. We have to fight back. We got to do what we got to do, but let's double down on our successes too.
We have about 3 minutes left, but let's touch on the race for the White House. What do you have to say about your party's apparent front runner?
Well, it's certainly interesting to watch. I think it has everybody interested and puzzled. I think the front runner says a lot of things that people say, yeah, that's me, me too, I feel that way. At the end of the day, I've already been contacted by a number of the different camps to be supportive of their efforts, and truly not, I know this is going to seem like a dodge, I'm going to support fully whoever the candidate is that emerges. I don't want to pick sides right now. There's so much that we have to work on and do in West Virginia. I'm facing a 60-day session that is going to be a barn burner. We're going to start early, work late every single day, all the way through that session. We have to deliver, and deliver in a big way for West Virginia. When I come out of that, I'll go back into campaign mode for my run for governor, and we'll see what comes out of the president. I'm looking forward to the next debates, like everybody else is. What's he going to say next? So, I'll stay tuned.
It'll be exciting when they narrow down that field a little bit.
Well, I wish they would. You're so right about that. If we could just get down to 3 or 4 people, so you could sort of cut through the clutter and really make a fair comparison. But I don't know. I guess smarter people than us are figuring all that out.
We'll see. Well, we have about 2 minutes left. If there's anything I haven't touched on you think is important for the viewers to know about what you'll be addressing this session, I'll give you the chance to do that.
Well, again, like I said earlier, is it good for West Virginia? Is it good for West Virginians? We'll be taking on a lot of different issues. Unfortunately, the budget is going to be, overhanging everything that we do. If it costs money to some law that we want to pass, it's really going to be difficult if we don't figure out how we're going to pay for it. So it'll slow us down to some extent, but we're going to continue to pave the way to make West Virginia a place where businesses can come and thrive, and we're just trying to create a state where young people can stay home and find their futures here. We're the only state in the nation that's losing population. We're projected in the 2020 census to lose one of our 3 seats in the House of Representatives, so we'd be down to 2. I remember 5. So we have to stop that. Our nation is gaining population all the time, and in increasing population comes wonderful opportunities. You have to have a barber shop, or a beauty shop, or a car dealership, or a restaurant. We need people coming here, not going away from here. And if we can start with our own young people and have them not stay here at mom and dad's house, but stay here and build their own families and their own futures, then we'll know that we've succeeded. So, at the end of the day, we just want to do those things that are going to be good for our state.
All right. Thank you so much, Senator, for being here.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for joining